Let's Ruin It podcast, where we take your favorite pop culture media, put a legal spin on it, and like all lawyers, we ruin it! Hello, everyone. We are your hosts. My name is Jenny, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-hosts.
Hi, guys. It's Diana.
And it's Liz.
We are doing a late 90s classic today.
Mm-hmm.
They're all classics from the 90s. Big Daddy.
Woo!
I love this movie.
Adam Sandler.
Did not age well at all.
Nope.
But I find that happens with all of our choices.
Yes.
I also find it happens with Adam Sandler quite a bit.
I think Adam Sandler, yeah, he's like the
I
king
have
of
to
that.
say this movie was recommended to me multiple times by my kids.
Yes.
Big time. They're big Adam Sandler
you had never
fans.
seen it, you said.
I
Like,
had
you've
never
never
seen
seen
it.
it.
And it was always like, and my younger one in particular was like, let's watch Big Daddy. Let's do Big Daddy.
used
And I'm
to
like,
love this
nah.
No, I
No,
loved this movie
it's-
so much. My parents love. My dad loves this movie. We
Does he
quote it
really?
like
Oh my
for the last 25 years. Like we've been quoting this movie.
Is Big Daddy 2 not coming out? Did I hear
Wait,
that?
no,
I'm pretty
why
sure Big
would it?
Daddy 2 is coming
When I
out.
I'm
almost
Googled
positive.
Big Daddy, there
Really?
was a thing that popped up about Big Daddy 2.
Why?
Yes.
So apparently they tried to get that rumor going, but it's not official.
All right. Debunked.
Oh, well.
I mean, my kids make fun of me all the time because I fall for shit all
the
the
time.
time.
Yeah.
AI has these like fake promos for movies.
Yes.
And I get all excited. I'm like, oh, look what's coming out. My kids look at me and go, that's fake.
Mm-hmm.
I go, what do you mean it's fake? They're like, Mom, it's AI. That's fake. I'm like, how the hell did you know that? And I don't know that.
Well,
and they're like,
that's- They're not
okay,
old.
boomer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Why is this movie just so ridiculous?
Because all of it.
Because all of it,
'Cause all of it.
literally
All
all
of
of it.
it.
The premise is that Adam Sandler
His name's
is
Sonny.
Sonny Koufax,
Mm-hmm.
like the
So
most
not to be confused with Sandy Koufax. but
correct,
yes.
the most Jewish name that they could find
course.
for obvious reasons.
famous picture. Yes.
Yes, and then I think his dad's name was also the first name was also something like very. I mean, it's just like a very Adam
Oh, very.
Sandler shtick, obviously.
Called
Played
Saul.
by-
I don't know.
played
It might have been,
Might have been
yes.
Saul.
I actually don't remember. That's so funny. But played by an Italian guy, of course.
Yeah.
Because Italians and Jews we're right there. We're together.
Well, you've seen the skit that Sebastian Maniscalco does
Oh, yes.
about
Oh,
Italians
yeah,
About
coming,
Italians
yeah.
and Jews? Yeah.
Italians going for a Passover Seder.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
So the idea is that Adam Sandler went to law school, and he's this like too good for the lawyering world.
He's just like a slacker. He's a
Yes.
perpetual
But-
teenager.
But wait a minute, guys. This entire movie is full of lawyers.
Yes.
Everyone was a lawyer.
Everyone and their brother was a lawyer.
It
in
was
this
amazing.
movie.
Everyone was a lawyer. All of his
Everybody.
because his friends are from law school, so his
Yes.
group of friends,
Yeah.
they're all lawyers, and then the girl that he ends up like falling for, she's a lawyer.
Yes.
So I like that. That's realistic.
But
Was the
he's-
other girl that he was originally dating a lawyer?
No.
too? No.
No.
Okay, but she had big plans.
No, yeah.
Right. Okay.
She was an event planner.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
But he is too good for the lawyering life, so he's refusing to take the bar exam, and he like a cab ran over his foot a few
and he
years
got
ago.
$200,000 in a settlement,
milking it.
now he's just living off of that.
And he
which
works-
also, like, how do you live off of
I
$200,000
don't
for that
know.
many years?
Well, he said the stock market's making it work for him.
yeah, but
It's
you
that
know what?
Microsoft was down 3
3
points.
points,
Remember?
3 points,
Yeah,
yes.
so we have
But
to dent the cans.
I will
right.
say,
so
everyone's like, "Oh, get a job."
One
If
day a
he's
week-
very good at the stock market, like you
Yeah.
could just make money off of that and live off of
one
that.
day
Yeah,
as
why
a toll
not?
booth collector.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
One day a week. That
That's
was
right.
Can you
fabulous.
explain why he
Yeah.
does that?
Maybe just to get out of the
Funsies?
house.
I guess funsies. It does sound like a fun job.
Yeah, right?
And he let some guy go through for free because he gave him a ride back to Manhattan.
love that.
So that was delightful.
I like
Yes,
it.
Yeah,
there you
I mean,
go.
why not?
But where do the wacky hijinks ensue?
I mean, everywhere.
Sure.
Everywhere, Jenny.
But really, he
The
is
whole crux of the movie.
a child is delivered almost like the Chinese food delivery.
Correct.
Is
For $5
delivered
bucks.
for
By a
five.
teenager
Yes.
who's just like, some broad gave me $5 to drop off this kid
Yeah.
at his door because his roommate, so Sonny's roommate,
Played
Kevin,
by Jon Stewart,
Jon
yeah.
Stewart.
Oh, my love.
And so his roommate is away on a business trip in China. And so this kid gets delivered, and there's a note that says, "Hey, Kevin," which is Jon Stewart's character, "this is your kid. I can't take care of him anymore. He's yours. And if not, I've lined up a nice family to take
foster
over."
family, right.
Yeah, foster family.
And so he calls Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart is on his way to China. And Adam Sandler says, you know what? I'm a good friend. I'm going to take care of
And
this
Jon
for
Stewart's
you.
like, no, this has to be a hoax because it says that, they're from Buffalo.
And he's like, I've never been
And
to
he's like, I've
Buffalo.
never been to Buffalo. I
Right.
never hooked up with a girl in Buffalo. Like, this is a hoax.
Yeah.
Like, something's wrong. And then Sonny's like, I'll take care of it. And then I think, unbeknownst to Kevin, I don't think Kevin is aware that he's decided to keep this kid all this time. It's
No,
like,
I don't get the impression he
yeah,
knew.
because
no.
he's just like, I'll take care of it, I'll fix it. But then he decides to keep the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, part and parcel because he happens to call social services and they're closed because it's a holiday.
Right, because it's
Columbus
Columbus Day.
Day.
But also, so
Does social services close on Columbus Day? You've got to think there's an emergency line.
I have no idea.
I mean,
Hospitals
I would
are
think
open.
they have to be. If they I don't know. Was this supposed to be child protective services?
government- you know what, government
'cause they're
buildings-
closed.
It was unclear. I don't know what
But
agency they're
government,
supposed to be.
like buildings, government entities are they're closed on.
They are
major
holidays.
They're,
They
they're
are.
the ones who get all the holidays.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
government
absolutely.
But
holiday.
I've got to think that, because there's got to be emergency placements. So I've got to
Right.
think there's some emergency hotline. Maybe the office is closed and the gentleman who happened to be in charge of this case, who was inept, will get
Completely
to
inept. And he played the principal in Billy Madison. He was in Billy Madison.
Oh, I don't remember that. But
He's a
basically,
good character actor.
I like
I
him,
recognized
yeah.
him right away. And I'm like,
Adam Sandler basically says, I'm going to keep him for the night. We'll call child services tomorrow. And then by the next morning, he's like, you know what? I can do this.
But the reason he wants to do that is because he has a girlfriend, Vanessa, who's like
about to break up with him.
about to, and she's like, you need to get your shit together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't keep doing this. Like, you live like a child. So he's like, oh, I'll show her. I'm gonna bring this kid to her and be like, look, I've adopted this child, or I'm
Yeah.
adopting this child, and now we can be a family, and I'm gonna keep her. That does not work out.
No.
well. Yeah.
No, lo and behold, she's involved with a much
The old
older
man.
man.
With
and
old balls.
Yeah, oh God, I wasn't going to say it. I
like that
tried
line.
to refrain.
Enjoy
And
those-
I
enjoy
was
those
trying to
old
be
balls.
mature.
I
for
know. Well,
once.
you know, I didn't write that. Adam Sandler wrote that. It's his fault.
Look,
What?
he's
Booby trap.
Movie track.
he's using this child to get his girlfriend back,
Yes.
to impress his girlfriend. And so he's now raising this 5-year-old kid played by the Sprouse twins, Dylan and Cole Sprouse.
Yeah, that blew me away. I had
Did
no
a really
idea.
good job. They were
Oh,
really
they
cute.
did. Oh my God, with the little accent.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
First of all,
Scuba
they
Steve.
they were clearly making bank in the 90s.
Oh hell yeah.
Because they
Oh my God.
they had this, they played Ross Geller's son
Yes.
on
Yeah,
Friends.
And then they did the whole Disney thing.
The
Right.
Sweet
Sweet
Life
Life,
of
yeah.
Zach and Cody. I remember that.
And then one of them,
And then they
whichever
went on
one-
the ship. It
one?
was
Oh, yes,
the Sweet Life on
the-
deck.
On
Oh,
deck,
I-
that's
I
right.
did not
They
watch
moved the
it.
whole
then-
enterprise to the ship.
And then one of them, I don't know which
Whichever one of them was in Riverdale.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
And that was like a huge hit.
Yes,
Yes.
one of them was. You're right. Because
And
I
then-
Googled afterwards, and they have actually kept doing stuff.
Yeah.
I looked at their like.
One
And
of
the
them
other
more than the
one-
other.
thing, and
continues
The
to
other
hit.
one is married to a Victoria's Secret supermodel.
Yes.
I mean,
Barbara
I mean,
something.
They're doing fine.
They're doing great.
They are.
They've made bank.
They are.
They're
They're
all
doing
good.
well.
But they were
Fine.
so adorable in this movie. It was really cute.
You're watching this as an adult, and it's still very funny, but it's just so bad.
You're just like,
it's just so
you know
bad.
what? Yes and no. Like, to some extent, yes, there were some really, really inappropriate
Right.
things that he taught this kid to do.
But not even
Fine.
the inappropriateness of it.
But some of it could be considered just sort of an alternative parenting style that wasn't necessarily the worst
right, like
thing in the
decide
world.
like how you want to dress.
Letting
okay, fine.
letting him pick out outfits. What was the big deal with that?
Right, that's okay.
Like, that was okay.
Well,
Like that wasn't
There
a
are
big
parents
deal.
who allow that.
Yeah.
Express yourself.
He doesn't send him to school
In the
for
beginning.
like a
In the-
long time, for
Yeah.
weeks.
Although he's 5.
He's 5, so it's like,
Like I don't know that that's it's not compulsory.
Kindergarten isn't required.
No.
Not in New York, I guess.
Yeah, so
New Jersey,
he
I know
actually
it's
doesn't
not.
have to go to school at
Right.
that point.
How about he doesn't bathe him? Can we
That,
talk about
that,
that?
Okay.
that's bad. He was the smelliest kid
That
in
was
his
the
class.
smelliest
Yeah.
kid. He's like,
Doesn't
wow,
bathe
I'm
him.
raising the smelliest kid.
And
That
she's
I
like,
guess
I've
is
had some
pretty-
smelly kids, and this
Yeah.
one's the smelliest.
Yeah.
He doesn't bathe him. Let's just go through a list of things.
Okay.
Throw them out when
Yeah.
you think of them.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
bathe him.
Yeah.
He teaches him to pee like on a tree, in a plant,
wall.
in the
On the
wall,
classroom,
yeah.
on the wall.
He teaches him to like throwing a stick in front of a rollerblader. Which, by the way, I put that down as like
Attempted murder?
That's attempted murder. Like,
It kind of is.
That's
It's
a
like, let's
huge-
go to the park and watch them all fall around this
like
curve.
that's a huge liability. That's criminal. Like
Yes.
that one part
Yeah.
where I was like in the park, I was like, somebody arrest this guy.
And then the guy, he throws the stick and the guy like falls into
the water.
yeah, and then they
water.
laugh.
And they're like, oh man, who did that?
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
There's that. Yeah.
And then the kid gets in trouble because he does it at school.
Yes.
And the kid is has his arm in a sling.
I was thinking that, like, when the teacher was like, "Oh, the other day, like, so and so brought like rollerblades to school," and then Julian throws a stick in front of him, and the kid falls, and he's like, "Oh, like, haha, whatever." And then the camera pans this little kid with a little cast, and I'm like,
I know,
those
right?
parents should be filing a lawsuit
They absolutely
against the
should.
school and then against Julian's
yeah.
guardian. Yeah.
Who, by the way, who is Julian's guardian?
There is none.
There is.
It's a lawless thing.
Wait, are we talking about his crappy parenting, or are we going to discuss that yet?
So that's a crappy parenting, at least. Or
I
at least
think
some
there's.
of it.
Well, I think there's.
There's a lot. I mean, he takes the kid right off the bat, takes the kid to the bar.
Yes.
Okay, like a
Yeah, but you
5-year-old shouldn't really be in the bar.
And they go to
But
bed
it
at
seems
2:30
like
in
a
the
bar
morning.
and grill.
Okay.
I think that's okay.
Okay.
Well, hold on a minute. Can we
okay.
talk about the fact that they go to watch the Jets game? Oh.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, "We're here to watch the goddamn Jets."
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "You go, Julian."
Look, I will say, I say this as a Jets family.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like as a Jets family,
She clarifies that because I know she's not really a fan.
No, it's a
Jenny
we're a
is
Jets
not
family.
a fan of the football.
Oh, yes. I
No,
know.
that's not true.
Me too.
I know that's not true. I can watch a good football game. What I'm saying
Not when
is,
you're watching the Jets, you're not.
No. Yeah.
with the disclaimer that we are a Jets family, I have to acknowledge that it was some type of child abuse to take him to a
course.
Jets game.
Of course.
It was.
It's all I'm saying.
It was.
I mean, I will say,
was.
Adam Sandler, he did say 2 root beers, please.
That's true. He
True. I did note that. That
I
was
mean,
pretty good.
so what are we doing?
Something.
We're giving him a medal that he didn't give the kid an actual beer?
But it's like a bar and grill. It's like taking someone to Iron Horse, like
Or Applebee's?
Applebee's. Like, yeah, there's
I
a full
don't know.
bar, but it seemed like there's
Crapplebee's,
tables.
as I like to
It's
say.
not like just
Sorry,
a
we're not going to
bar,
get any likes
you
there.
know?
No sponsorship from the Crapplebee's.
Oh yeah,
No.
we were in the running for
You're
sponsorship.
gonna say no to Applebee's?
Oh, you know what? The part where Sonny goes to like interview his friends, like Julian's little friends on the playground.
Oh,
to,
gosh.
to
Oh,
suss
my
out-
God.
And he's
That
like
was-
talking about drugs and alcohol. It's like you like to drink rum. You like this. You like Captain Morgan.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
He is on a playground in the vicinity of children.
Harassing children about drugs.
Harassing children, yep.
He should be banned from the school.
Yeah, he should.
He puts newspaper on the bed when Julian pees the
And the
bed.
floor when
It
he
makes him just like
vomits,
sleep,
and-
sleep on like
Pee.
Yeah,
Yep.
just pee. Like
Yep.
on.
You can
Well,
do
it was
that.
kind of funny because he covers the bed, but obviously his pajamas are still wet, and he didn't think
What
about
does
that.
he care?
And he's just like
And
rolling
what does
around
he
on
care?
newspapers.
Yeah.
Like it's awful.
And I mean, again, all of these things are meant to be very funny. Oh, ha ha!
Wait,
Adam
also
Sandler has no idea what he's
Halloween.
doing.
He breaks
He
into
breaks-
a
I
house
had that.
and
Breaking and
threatens
entering
someone and
into
threatens a
man's
man
house.
to literally have him give like his watch, CDs,
Yeah.
some cereal,
Yeah.
like that's criminal behavior.
He's like,
He's
my kid's
arrested."
not happy.
What else you got? What else you got? Yeah, but he literally breaks into his house
Yep.
and threatens this man.
So breaking and entering.
Yep. No charges whatsoever for that.
No, because the guy just hands everything
I mean,
over.
robbery.
Yes.
But definitely B&E. Like, what?
Yeah.
I wrote that down.
And
I'm
he's
like,
doing
oh.
this in front of the kids. so-
Child endangerment of some sort. I mean, all of this is child endangerment.
I mean, also he enrolls the kid in school.
How?
Don't
How?
they need a birth certificate?
How?
Don't they
How?
need medical
Right.
records? Like,
Right.
I actually don't believe that you're required to give a birth certificate. We talked about this during the Never Been Kissed episode.
I did.
I don't.
I feel
but
like
I
we
think,
had to do something.
I
When I
think-
registered my kids for kindergarten, I had to produce a
there
birth
was
certificate.
definitely, but I mean, when we registered, like, we didn't just be like, "Here's our kid." Like, there were
We had to-
four.
I also
there
had
was
to provide proof of residency in the
Yeah,
town.
we had
Oh,
to,
yes.
and we had
Yeah.
to provide a lot
Yeah.
So he's.
and medical records,
Yes,
no
vaccination things.
vaccination,
Oh, yes.
and like a regular like checkup, like their
Yep.
physical.
he enrolls the kid in school. Nobody asks any questions. Nobody asks for a custody order. And by the way, there is no custody order. The custody order consists
Well,
of.
let's talk about social services and how
Yeah.
they dropped the ball on this. Because
I'm
talk about
suing
not
everyone.
asking for anything.
Anything.
Social services
Just a phone
asked
call. It's
for
like,
bupkis.
I'm Kevin Garrity. I got this letter.
Right.
Here you go.
And basically, he says, I've decided you don't have to deal with the foster family. I've decided to take him.
Right.
And the guy from Child Services says, you know what? We love it when a biological
When a
parent
natural
Like, you don't
parent-
have
yeah.
any kind of like he's not on the birth certificate.
No.
Right.
There's no paternity test yet.
Right.
So you're just
None.
Like this guy is just like, well, you're the parent. Like, no.
And we
How
don't
do you know he's a parent?
We also don't find out till later that the mother died of cancer.
You find out, like,
apparently.
a little bit later
A
on.
little later, but like nothing. That's it. Oh, hey, mom died of cancer. The kid's 5. Like, and
The
nothing.
kids should be getting some sort of Social Security
Right.
benefits, right?
Nothing comes of it whatsoever. It was a blip in the movie.
What about a background check? What about a home inspection?
Mm-hmm.
Even when you do these consensual placements, you do some adoptions, don't you?
Absolutely.
Even when you do these consensual placements, there still has to be a home inspection.
Absolutely. And you have a social worker that comes out and visits you for a selected period of time to make a report and a recommendation to the court. It's not just, oh, hey, thanks, bye-bye, we're done, you know? Not at all.
It doesn't work that way.
No.
What a disaster. So who is suing whom? Right?
I mean, it's an interesting question, though, because
his mom
he's
is
a
dead.
minor, the mother's dead. Garrity
Presumably-
really hasn't established
Presumably he
paternity.
has no other family.
Right.
Let's assume.
So technically he's
He's an orphan. He's a ward of the
he's
state.
a ward of the
He should
state.
be.
Yeah.
So then who's suing?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is it the state on his behalf? I think it's
But then the
state.
state
What are they
on his
suing
behalf
the
is
state?
suing the state.
Yeah, we can't do
They're
that.
suing the state for dropping the ball, but they're to be the ones who are suing.
Right.
It's like that little meme with like all the Spider-Man.
Right.
Oh,
Like-
yes.
yes.
Well, I think it has to be like the DA takes on the case and like someone gets fired in social services and
Yeah, let's just conclude that's never going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
no, that's not true. There was an issue where
I mean, it's interesting. Maybe when he reaches the age of majority, he might be able to say, wow, you guys really screwed up my life.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Although statute of limitations.
I don't know.
But I don't think statute of limitations for
a minor.
a
You think it's-
plaintiff that is a minor when it occurs.
So you think it tolls
I
until
think it
they're
tolls
of
until
the
they
age
reach
of
the age of
majority.
majority.
Okay.
I think so.
And then they may have a window within which they have a time to bring the
Yeah,
suit.
like the clock starts when
Yeah.
they turn 18.
Yeah.
I just found the whole thing so incredibly sad. When I first watched it, I was like, funny movie, wacky hijinks. And then you're just watching it now and you're like, this poor little
I
child.
felt so bad for the child.
I
I'm
felt
like,
so
his
bad for
mom,
him.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know, presumably he had 5 years of being raised by this
Of
woman. And
course.
it's
Right.
like, bye. Like, no mention of
Right.
it. Like,
Nothing.
I don't know. Like, and Sonny doesn't say, like, oh, I just found out that your mom died. Like, because he found out on the phone with
Right.
the child services guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's just like, he doesn't say anything. They
I
don't have
just-
a talk about it. Like, the trauma, the emotional distress of it all.
Nothing.
What was his obligation to say anything to
didn't
Julian?
have an
Did he-
obligation
did he have-
legally.
He didn't. He had no obligation to him at
Ethically.
all.
No,
But if
really.
you're going to sit there and take responsibility for this kid, which he said he wanted to take responsibility for this kid, isn't part of it going like, hey, buddy, how you doing? Like, you know, do you want to talk about anything?
Yeah, how do you feel about the
Like-
fact that you've been abandoned at my doorstep? And then also, how do you feel about this news that I just received that your mom's dead?
No, he's not equipped at all to handle
That's
it.
an
And then the
understatement.
social services guy is just like, number one, he is okay.
He's the one who bugs the crap
He
out of
is
me because
okay.
he just washed his hands.
Yeah.
Oh, one less paperwork thing I
He
have
literally,
to do.
like at one point
I'm
when
good.
Sonny came to him and was like, I can't take this kid, I can't take care of him, whatever. And
Right.
then he's like, you know what? I've changed my mind. And then he's like, okay, let's just pretend this
Well,
conversation
because he
never
told
happened.
him he was
Like
going to go
the-
into a foster home.
I know, but the social services
sorry,
guy
in a group home.
can't just be like,
And-
we're just going to pretend this conversation never happened.
Right. So the group home is what set him off. That was his line, I guess.
I wonder how often that happens in real life, where the
What?
social services people are like, hey, let's pretend this
Maybe.
never happened.
You know what? Maybe.
I mean,
I don't know, and that makes me even sadder. Guys, we're not supposed to make ourselves
we're not
sad.
just ruining a movie, we're ruining society.
I don't know. I mean, it's such a hard thing to say, though, Jenny, because would he have been better off in a group home? I don't
No,
know.
probably
I mean,
not.
Look, Adam Sandler wasn't perfect, but
that's because we know
But he
that-
kept the kid alive.
Yeah, but that's because we know, based on being the audience of this movie, that things with Adam Sandler are fine overall.
Yeah.
He's well
Yeah.
cared
Means well.
He's well cared for overall.
Overall.
But like he could have also
I mean,
been
a
an
diet,
abusive
a diet of
person.
ketchup is not necessarily
Yes.
the way I would have gone,
but he could have also been like a child abuser.
True.
He could have been like, I don't know, like awful things.
I'm sorry, how many times I must have gagged, I can't even tell you how many
What?
times, when he taught the kid how to hock the loogie
Oh,
down
yeah.
and then suck it back up again.
Hate
Holy
that.
God.
See, that one touched the ground.
Whoa, I
Well,
could
and
not.
so then that's a
But all the
conversation.
morons are laughing. Even the ones that are legit lawyers
Yes.
were laughing.
No,
and I'm
because
like,
they're still
oh,
like,
you
what?
guys
How
are
old are they? They're like
idiots.
29, 30.
They're probably in their like late 20s, right?
Yeah.
Like the late 20s.
20s.
A group of boys. crying out.
That are lawyers.
Yeah, but they're not parents. They're not parents.
What's-
You think
what's
that
your
lawyers
point?
are more mature at that age? Like, you think they're more mature because they're lawyers?
Sadly, you're right. They're not.
Yeah. They're like corporate lawyers. Who cares? Oh my God. They're not like, oh, that kid, he should learn better. Like, no.
Well, so what were Sonny's responsibilities and obligations when this kid shows up at his doorstep? He did the right thing. He calls John Stewart and he says, "Hey, this and this has happened." But then, what were his obligations beyond that?
Well,
Social
he
He would
said
services.
he was
call
gonna-
social services and say,
Right.
I'm not that person. That person's on a flight.
Right.
And then he would be, like, Julian would be taken into, like, temporary custody until of the state,
Yeah.
some sort of group home or whatever, until the roommate comes back from China.
Would Sonny be able to say, "Don't send him to a group home. I'll take him"? But again,
No,
they have
you
to
can't
do
just- I
all
don't
the
think you
checks.
just-
And,
You can't just assume.
You can't just be like, oh, you know what? That guy's in China. Let's give it to this guy's friend.
No.
Like,
no.
They would maybe give it to someone who's a foster parent, but you go through a lot of checks and balances to become
Yes. No,
so Sonny-
a certified
Sonny
foster
knows
parent.
enough to know that he's got zero standing to be able to
Yes.
keep this
'Cause
kid,
he also
which
knows-
is why
yeah, he
he
knows some law.
impersonates being Kevin. Yeah,
Right.
he does.
He
so
knows-
he
he
says
knows enough,
He
yeah.
affirmatively makes a representation that he's Kevin Garrity.
He knows
so,
he can't just say, I'm his roommate. He
So
knows
that's
that.
identity theft right there.
Oh, yeah, I had that down. I didn't
He's
have-
lying to a government worker.
He literally, he
That's where the
uses
judge
his
hammered him at the end.
Yeah.
I
well,
mean,
we'll get to
yeah.
that. That's a
identity
whole
theft,
conversation.
forgery, fraudulent misrepresentation.
Absolutely.
Like, a lot, yeah.
Is he charged criminally with all of this? Do we think the fraud, the identity
Yes.
theft, all
Fraud,
of this?
for sure.
perjury, kidnapping,
Yeah.
Right.
the whole gamut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's criminal. It's bad.
Oh, Adam Sandler, what have
Adam
you
Sandler.
done? What have you done?
Yeah.
So let's talk about if Kevin reappears, Jon Stewart's character. Let's shift it on its head a little bit. Like if it doesn't happen the way it actually happened. Let's say Kevin reappears and is like, oh man, no harm, no foul. Now what?
Well, that's the part where I'm like, Adam Sandler would still be facing those same charges.
Presumably.
Just because Jon Stewart's like, I'm his dad and I'm okay with everything that my friend did all this time, doesn't
guess-
change the fact that it was still identity theft. It was still forgery. It was
Yep.
still.
I guess
The state has the right to prosecute
Yeah.
Sonny.
Yeah, he doesn't
And it
need
doesn't
someone to press
matter that
charges.
Kevin doesn't want
Yeah.
to press charges because
He didn't
Kevin
go-
wasn't the one who said, I want to press charges. The judge was
the
like,
state.
you kidnapped.
And that's why
you
that whole
committed a
court
felony.
case at the end was so frustrating.
Right.
Like the judge can't be like, okay, well this guy says he's okay with it, so now we're okay with it, pending a blood test. First
Holy-
of all, where's the blood
so-
test?
So
Do
hold
that
on.
first.
So hold on. Let's get to the trial scene because I think we gotta set the scene, and then I think we can talk for like hours about the
This is the
kangaroo
most
court.
ridiculous
The
court scene I've
ridiculous-
ever seen in my fucking life.
Absurd.
I
So-
think one of these days we are going to have to rank the most ridiculous court
Oh, I
scenes
think
in
so.
every
This
movie.
one's like so
but this
high
one
up.
is way
This
at the
might
top,
win.
guys. Way
I
at the top.
can't think of another one that's worse.
I don't know. I
No,
mean,
the
there's
one-
some really
there's,
bad ones.
There's a good one from Liar Liar.
Liar, yeah.
There is
I
the
do
Legally Blonde
appreciate.
one is good.
Legally
Yeah,
Blonde is
I
also good.
appreciate a few good men. You can't
Sure,
handle the truth.
sure.
But
Love that.
I think this one's so much worse than Legally
It
My
is.
Blonde.
cousin
It's
Vinny is
disaster.
probably
The
the
best.
best.
No, it's the best.
Yeah.
They did it wonderfully.
But so here's what happens: everything unravels, right?
Yes.
The jig is up.
The jig's up.
And
The jig is up when the social worker shows up and calls him Sonny
Sonny.
Koufax.
Because
and he's talking to him and then he stops and he goes, You
just called me
Koufax.
yeah,
right.
yeah,
And
Sonny,
he's
yeah.
like, so he's like, yep, like I know.
You know what we
like,
don't know?
Basically.
We don't know how he got there.
How he
How
figured
did
it
he
out.
figure it out?
I'm not sure. I don't remember that jump, but he figures
It's funny
it
because I
out.
literally just watched it last
No,
night.
I
and
watched
you think
it
I
2
would
nights
remember.
ago. I know there was
I
nothing.
don't recall how he got there.
He's calling him, leaving messages to Sonny. Sonny is deleting that message.
Yeah. But why is he calling him? I thought
Oh
that they
no,
wrapped it
because
up.
then he came. The kid was without Sonny was on the date.
Right.
Why did he
and-
show up? Just to do like a...
Because he was
welfare check?
avoiding all the
Oh.
messages and calls. Yeah.
But why was
ca-
he calling him?
Because they found a foster
They
family.
had found a foster family.
That's right.
Because
That's right.
Sonny had
Sonny-
said, I'll hold on to him until you find a foster
A family.
That's
and then
right.
he's calling him
and then
because
he's like,
they
we
someone.
found a family, and he wasn't hearing back from him. So then he goes and is like, what is going on?
And he's like, I'm looking
he
for
finds
Kevin
him
Garrity.
with all
and
these
then,
people.
And
they said he's in China.
And then the other guy's like, no, he's in Chinatown.
Town.
And
Yes,
then I
I
guess
remember
that
this.
must
Right.
have started. But
Triggered it.
Yeah.
The jig is up. He shows up at the door and he says, give me the kid or there's a cop downstairs and you're about
By
to be
the way,
arrested.
he could have been a little bit better. He works for child services, and he
So
could have been a little
traumatic.
nicer. He's just pulling this kid away, and you would think he is trained to also not traumatize the kid and be like, "Hey, you're gonna come with me. It'll be okay."
It was so traumatic.
I hated that scene so much,
was-
and he's like,
It was even worse than when
It's
Chunk
not the
got
first
kidnapped in the back of a truck.
know.
It's not the first time I've seen them portray that kind of a thing. And
Yeah.
look, I mean, there's something to be said. They know it's going to be traumatic no matter what, and they feel
they
like
could have been a little
the
nicer.
sooner that they go, the better.
No,
But they could have
it
been
was-
nicer about
it
it.
was
And then
terrible.
also I was angry that Sonny was just like, you're gonna have to go. Like, and then the kid thinks like that Sonny's pushing him away because he's like, but I wipe my own ass and I do all, and then he's like, I know, like, I know, but he's not saying, hey, I want to keep you and I'm gonna fight for you. They're gonna take you right now. I'm trying to keep you. I'm not pushing you away because it really the kid thought he's being rejected.
It was the
I was
saddest
so
scene.
sad.
I didn't want to watch it anymore.
I hated it. I hated that scene, and I was angry at Sonny. I was angry at the child services guy. Like no one's handling the situation well.
But then of course now Sonny is like, but wait a second, I can do law good.
I do good law, and then he goes to his. He goes to the
his cavalcade of lawyers.
Yes.
And there could have been any more
because
lawyers
he goes to his
that showed up.
his new girlfriend, Joy Lauren Adams.
Yeah.
And
Which, by the way, he utilized the kid to get dates.
Oh, I love that.
Like,
I think that's okay. That's fine.
Really? Really?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure there are single dads out there who are doing that. That's fine.
That's fine. That's the least offensive part of this movie.
Yeah.
So he basically.
I actually questioned what was wrong with her getting interested in Adam Sandler.
right?
I was like, really, girl?
I know, and also, by the way, she's a lawyer, and she's clearly working on something very big and important. And she says, "Oh, like the hearing's on Tuesday. Like I can't do that. I have to be in Washington D.C. Like
or else my case is going to be dismissed.
Yeah." And then I'm like, "What about your case?" Because she does show up, and I'm like, "Hello, you have
Is
this
your
huge
case
case that
dismissed?
you've been devoting your life to."
I'm gonna hope and assume that she got somebody to cover it.
I mean,
or she got an adjournment.
I don't know.
what I'm
This
gonna
big
hope for.
case. I don't know.
I don't know if the
German?
I don't know if the Supreme Court of the United States is handing out
Wait,
adjournments.
I don't know that it was
No.
that.
I don't think it was that, right?
I don't know. I assume, but like when she said D.C.,
Come on, guys, we get adjournments all the time. I mean,
I guess so.
maybe not. I don't know about all the time.
You don't know about all the time. But in any case, he basically storms her office and he says, I
need you.
I need you, but also I figured out how I have standing. I figured out how to get him back. And this buddy of mine who does corporate law knows the clerk, so they fast-tracked it. That's not how that works.
I don't know, but fast tracking it to the point where it's like, this happened today. It's like, let's say it's Wednesday or Thursday.
Right, and there's an
now the emergency hearing on Tuesday.
Tuesday?
I don't care. You could be sleeping with the clerk. It's not going to help. Like, you know, like,
I mean,
That's true.
unless you file it as an emergent application, and I guess it's the safety of the child, right? And you have to show that if we don't have this hearing now, there might be irreparable harm to the child.
yeah, but how is he even, like, what is his argument for that? Even to get the emergency hearing? Like, I'm the friend and I'm nothing, and
Right.
I had fun with him.
Right.
Well, and therein lies the beginning of all of our problems in this trial scene. He shows up, he's not a barred attorney, but no matter. And then she says, who's representing
does
you?
Not
Well, he could be pro
preclude
se.
him from being
From
pro
representing
se.
himself.
Yes, he can.
However, I agree with you. However, he has a whole team of lawyers. If you have a whole team of lawyers, you cannot be pro se. Have you ever had a situation where you and your client represented
I was thinking
together?
about this though, like in Legally Blonde, she's not a lawyer, but there was that. Remember, we looked up that Massachusetts statute where it was like, as long as a barred attorney, like signs off.
But that's not what he was
doing.
doing.
But maybe he did do that because we looked into it. Like, okay, she's only a first year, and that's why that wasn't like realistic. You had to be like a third year, have gone through.
But
he graduated law school.
But technically, his friends did do some of the questioning of some of the witnesses. They were handling
Some of it.
some of it.
But he did a lot of it too, and then also. People
It was
just,
definitely-
people
yeah,
just
like-
walk in like Joy Lauren Adams. She just walks
like,
in, she's
hey,
and
I'm
I'm
here.
also on his legal team.
Right.
Like you can't just walk. I can't walk into any courtroom and be like, I'm a lawyer, so I'm also on this legal team.
No.
Like,
And then Jon Stewart is magically back from China and goes, and me. And the judge says, well, I think he's got enough lawyers. And Jon Stewart, instead of saying, yes, Your Honor, of course, Your Honor, goes, he could use one more, and just plops himself down
and
as
the
if
judge
he's
is
like,
like,
at a bar.
okay,
Right.
You're not allowed to do that.
On
mean,
no planet
no.
ever would I have imagined a judge going, sure, what the hell, join the party. Why not?
No,
You
it was
know?
a complete.
Not happening.
It was a
I mean,
complete
there have
kangaroo
been
court.
like there are times when there's like 3 attorneys on a case, like from one side, and they'll be, like the judge will say, "That's too many. Like we only need 2 of you.
Yeah.
One
Yes.
of you sit back."
Yes, because it gets too messy. It gets too crowded. Nobody knows who else.
And here
who's
they have
doing
like
what.
5.
Yes.
At
Yes.
a minimum before he pulls his dad up.
And then his dad.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So let's talk about Dad.
So first of all, before that, Joy Lauren Adams and Jon Stewart, they walk in and they just proclaim themselves to be attorneys,
What about
and
a-
therefore they can be.
What
part
about
of
a
the legal
notice
team.
of appearance? You have
Right,
to
there's
file
no
a
notice of appearance.
Right.
There's no like checks and balances. Like, are they attorneys? Like, are you in good standing? Like, where are you barred?
Right.
And like, you could be barred in a different state. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, at least they admitted that his father was an attorney in the state of Florida.
But that's the thing. When he calls his dad up to cross-examine him or direct examine him, no, I guess cross-examine him. I don't know. He
Direct.
It was direct. He's just like, well, he's a great attorney from Florida. Again,
He's
no credentials given, nothing. No
He's
one's
the best
looking.
trial attorney in the
also,
state of
what
Florida.
about
Reciprocity.
What about the fact that he's not even admitted
There's
pro
no-
Agvice? Oh, he's a great attorney from Florida, so he
There's
can do this. No,
nothing.
you have to go through the process
Right.
of getting admitted
It
pro
was-
Agvice
Right.
and have a sponsoring attorney.
It was
And the
a
judge was
circus.
basically like, yay.
Whatever,
Sure.
yeah.
But it was funny because Adam Sandler said, if I can convince my dad, who's my biggest critic, then I know, Judge, that I can convince you. And because my dad is the best trial lawyer in all of Florida. So what? Sit back
Who gives a
down,
shit?
sir.
I know, right?
It was
Kangaroo court.
kangaroo court.
Not to mention the worst witnesses ever.
He couldn't
His
find-
character witnesses were okay,
Delivery man.
The drunk guy,
Yeah,
the
the homeless-
homeless
yeah.
guy,
And
and
then-
the delivery
yeah.
guy. Come
Steve, I
on.
love Steve Buscemi. What a good man. Steve Buscemi.
I mean,
Mushroom
I love-
head, as I called him.
I just love him.
I just love
He's
him.
great.
I love him.
I mean,
And what's his name?
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
Rob
Thank
who
Schneider.
can
you.
only slightly be bribed with a sausage McMuffin, apparently from
Steve
McDonald's.
Buscemi, yeah.
Steve Buscemi.
Oh, well, I wanted to point that out. It's like, he's just
bribing
bribing him with the McDonald's. Like,
Sure.
it's just like, hey, like,
Yeah.
You're not allowed to bribe witnesses.
yeah, like, say the right
Really?
thing on, say the right
don't-
thing on the, like,
Guys.
If I saw someone, like, holding out, I don't know, I guess an Egg McMuffin or something of more value, being, like, when someone's on the stand, I'd be like, excuse me, he's bribing him.
So bribing a witness is a very serious
It's
offense.
very bad.
It's very, very bad.
Do tell, Jenny. Do
Well,
tell.
I will tell. I will tell. So it's very serious in both civil and criminal, obviously, and it can be. You can actually be criminally charged for it.
You can.
And if you're not going to be
And
criminally charged
disbarred.
for it, well, if the lawyer is doing it.
Right.
But if the witness is, or not the witness, I'm sorry,
Witness
if the,
tampering?
if the defendant is doing it, it's witness tampering. I had to deal with this on a case
Mm.
where there was a little bit of a witness tampering, and the judge found a negative inference against the litigant who tampered. I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Was it
Ooh,
your
a negative
client?
No, it wasn't.
inference. Whoopee.
Not a negative inference.
I will tell you, it tanked her entire case.
Oh, no.
It tanked her entire case. She called a witness, and it was a huge deal. I actually
Wait, calling a witness, but if you can call, like, one of your own, like, I can talk to my
no.
friend
It was
and be
one
like,
of my-
hey,
it was
please
one of
do
my
right
witnesses.
by me.
It was one of my
Yeah, you
witnesses.
can't call a witness on from the other side.
and she called the witness, and then the witness said, "No, forget it. I'm not going to testify.
this
I
is
don't want to
like-
get involved."
In this situation, it's his own witness. Where does
Yes.
it go from being like, hey, you're my friend, please do right by me, and when you're on the stand,
Yeah.
please just do right by me? And where does it, like, where do you draw the line of now this is witness tampering?
Well, so I guess it's not necessarily
bribery.
witness tampering as opposed
It's
to
bribery.
It's
No,
bribery.
I think it was absolutely
it's
bribery.
but it's also it's just like the credibility, the lack of credibility of him and the witness. I mean, you're getting this guy in the stand who only sees you because you walked by him once or twice. There's no credibility there
Right.
to begin with. But the fact that you had to bribe him to come and take the stand, if I'm the judge.
Well, technically, he owed him the sandwich. Remember,
Sure.
he promised it to him, but McDonald's stopped serving breakfast at 10:30,
10:30.
not at 11, like they all thought.
I know,
So,
it was a big deal.
technically, it was something owed.
My thought was, I just lost my train of thought. Somebody jump in.
Okay. I don't know where your thought was, but I mean,
I lost it again.
okay,
Go
great.
ahead.
Okay, but the idea is like
was great.
they're showing this like, you know, he's just showing
was
him there's
blatant
McDonald's.
bribery at that
but like
point,
he's just
yeah.
showing him McDonald's. He could just say,
I got it.
like, what's the difference between like that and being like, hey, I really owe you one for testifying. Like, I'm gonna take you out for lunch later.
That's not what that
testified-
was, though.
I mean, that would be the way I would spin it.
Right? Be like, he's just showing him McDonald's out of like, you know, the generosity of his, like, as a thank you, gratitude. You know.
I remembered my thought. My thought was that if I'm the judge and this is who I get as my witnesses, I'm thinking you couldn't find a single other person
Right.
who knows you.
Right.
All those
I mean,
guys that he
they're all
had
your
as
lawyers.
his lawyers
Rather than
should
them
have
being your
been
lawyers,
his witnesses.
How about you testify for the man, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
because okay, maybe the delivery guy, look, he hangs out with him, they watch the game together.
Quite
That's
a
fine.
bit.
Okay, they hang out a lot. But like you just pointed out, this homeless man isn't like, it's not just that he's homeless, he can't be a good witness. It's that he's walked by him twice. And that makes him a character witness.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what?
Right.
Also, you submit your witness list ahead of time. Like, the
Yeah,
other
what
side would have
exactly
been
was
like,
it?
wouldn't the
A
other side be
homeless
like,
man from the McDonald's?
but wouldn't the other side be like, what is the basis of his knowledge? Like, you have the
Proffer.
opportunity.
You need to produce a proffer.
Yeah, on the other side, like
Yeah.
they would be able to say, this is not a proper witness.
Right,
I mean,
you can't
there
have
was-
surprise witnesses.
Come on.
You can't have surprise witnesses.
No.
That's a thing. And they did in this.
There
like,
was a ton
case.
of just inappropriate etiquette. How about the witness having the conversation with the guy
With the other witness.
in the box? Like, hello, what is happening?
Yes.
They're just having a discourse. You're not
The
the, one
only testimony-
You're not the one asking questions. You're not the one, but they're having an argument between themselves.
Would they put the kid on the stand like that?
Never.
Because I was wondering that since you're a family
no,
attorney.
actually, no. I absolutely.
I was like,
would.
would they do
have,
that?
I have multiple exclamation points.
I
about it.
absolutely.
I've
put
never
that
dealt
in
with
here.
any
I was-
law that deals with children
Why
in
would
any
you?
way.
You
So
don't.
I had no idea.
Typically, you do not. First of all, a child that young
Never.
would not get interviewed in open court like that.
Nope.
Right.
Most likely not at that
Maybe
age
like- maybe
anyway.
like-
but if they did, it would usually
Like a
be in
deposition
camera.
kind
It
of-
would
yeah,
be an
yeah,
in-camera
yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah, of
yeah,
course.
With
yeah.
the judge in
With the
judge's
judge.
chambers.
Yeah, camera, yeah.
And it would be recorded. So when I clerked for a judge, and I mean, we do it now from this side of it, but when I clerked for a judge and we had to do these in-camera interviews, I would sit in with the judge so that he'd have his like witness next to him. But the judge had a recorder on his desk, and he would press play. I don't remember. Are the parents even allowed to hear it after the fact? I think they can request
They
it.
They can. Actually, it's funny because we had to just. Attorneys have the opportunity in New Jersey under the process when a judge is going to interview the child to submit questions, proposed questions to the judge. So we were actually just working on that because we had to submit them
Yes.
to the
Okay.
court in a case. So I was reading the rule, and yes, you would get the transcript.
Yeah.
And they can listen to it,
But
they
not in
cannot,
real time.
But they can no, and
can't
they
be there with
cannot
them?
disclose it to anyone.
No.
And they cannot share it with the kids. That's specifically in the rule
But you
that
can
it does
discuss
not
it.
get discussed
And
or disclosed
what
to
they
the
do,
children.
like-
and it can't be shared with any other
Right. There's like some sort of like
parties.
I
and
don't
it's like
think they would do it.
semi-sealed.
I
Yeah.
don't. Yes, and I don't think that they would do it with a kid that young.
So
Right.
that was my question. Like, would they do it in camera with?
I don't think so.
No, with a kid that
not
young?
likely a 5-year-old.
think-
Is it that they're just not taking into account and like what the kid wants at that age? It's later
Right.
on that they do.
There usually is
If there's like a custody dispute.
it's not a definitive age, but at least here they say that the child has to be able to articulate some type of capacity for reasoning and understanding. It's no bright line age rule.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But they have to be able to
Well, are you talking about to do an interview or to express preference?
preference is what I was talking about.
I think 12 is sort of the generally
12.
yeah.
That's later than I thought.
12 is kind of
I feel
the
like
generally
kids
accepted
under
age.
12 can already.
Yeah, but they still don't have a bright line rule.
No,
but they
they
just
don't.
said, but
They
the kid
don't.
has to be, because one of the issues that I was arguing about recently was that a kid was 13, but on the autistic spectrum. So then part of my argument was that's all well and good. The age requirement is met, but do we really have the mental capacity to have a child that's on the spectrum
Sure.
say their preference?
Yeah.
Because not that they're not capable of it, but
It
they're
depends,
impacted
right.
and influenced by different things. And
Sure.
I basically said, and my argument was that it was better for a professional, like a psychologist or
Yeah,
somebody, to
as
speak
opposed
to
to
the
the
child
judge.
as opposed to the judge in the robe.
Right.
And that was my argument.
Yeah.
Not that you can't talk to the kid, but it might be better in
I
a
don't
better
think
setting.
there's
you know?
no bright line rule, but I think
Yeah.
that it's generally accepted in New Jersey.
So most states give judges full discretion regardless of age, but may recommend consideration starting at the
12.
age 12, right. And as you get, obviously, as the kids get older, like
Right.
If the kid is 14 or 15, good luck doing
Yeah.
something other than what the
Usually
kid
in a context
wants.
like that, and it's funny because that brings it up too, they would impart some kind of a guardian ad litem
Yes.
for the kid.
Yeah.
So there would be some
This
attorney.
is important. If the
one?
choice is based on fun reasons, like
Yes.
dad lets me skip homework or signs of manipulation, it carries a little weight. And
100%.
all of Julian's
100%.
testimony was like, I have fun with him.
Yeah.
I want to live with him.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Because a lot of times when you get into custody battles between parents, and it's like, well, I want to go live with my dad because
He doesn't
I
make
don't
me do
have to,
homework.
right. I don't have to follow, like, I don't have a bedtime and I don't have to follow the rules and I
Yeah.
can basically do whatever I want. Whereas mom makes me do this and mom makes me do that.
Right.
And I know I'm being stereotypical right now. It's not always like that. But like when they're comparing like
Yeah.
that, most of the time the judges are like, yeah,
don't
okay.
care, right.
Like that
And if-
doesn't mean, because they still have, and they even mentioned it even in this kangaroo court, it should be the best interest of the child. So the best interest doesn't necessarily mean that you get to change your name to Frankenstein, eat ketchup, and go to bed at 2 a.m.
yeah.
because that's what you feel feel like doing.
But
you know?
I think also in addition to
physical,
the
emotional, educational, and overall well-being.
right,
Yeah.
but also in addition to the fact that he's just way too young to really understand the
God,
weight
yeah.
of what he's saying.
Yeah.
The fact that he is in an open courtroom with all of these people on the stand with the judge, it's traumatic.
I appreciate what Joey Lauren.
The way that she did it and like
she tried
put
to
his
do it and put the
sunglasses
glasses on and spoke, look just at me.
And the way that
I
she
appreciate
talked to him
that.
was
yes.
like, well done. If
She
that was
tried,
done privately.
I would have given her credit. I gave her credit for what she
She was
tried
the
to
only
do.
one who did testimony and
but it
kind
should
of
have
like,
never been like that. Ever.
No, it never should have even happened.
No.
And then, of course, the dad does this direct/cross. There's
Right.
Sonny's dad.
Sonny's
from
dad,
Florida.
right? And if there's if it's direct, then there's 5 million leading questions.
By
Objection,
the-
objection,
yeah,
objection.
By the way, like I couldn't believe that they weren't objecting every other word.
yes.
Like it literally became a father-son moment. It's like, I know
Conversation.
you're scared. I know I'm scared too. And it's like,
Right.
at that point, you're standing up like, objection,
I think
relevancy.
at first, the other attorney did object, but then when the father was like,
You know what I think
my
my son
son
is
is a
and-
moron and
and
he
then he's
shouldn't
like,
have
oh,
custody of
withdrawn.
this. Forget it. Let him have
withdrawn.
at it. Right.
But then when he sits on the stand and the testimony, like the
bonding.
questioning is becoming completely
No,
like,
it
off
was
the rails.
it was a conversation.
Just
it was
like
just
father-son
ridiculous.
moment. At that point, the attorneys for the state should have just been like, objection,
The
objection,
judge
objection.
should have stopped
The judge
it.
should have
judge
The
should have
stepped
judge
in.
should have stopped the questioning. It wasn't questioning anymore.
The
It was
judge had no
ridiculous.
control over anything.
No.
Yeah.
And then they're hugging, and the dad
Applause
says,
breaks out in the courtroom.
and the
like-
dad says, "My son should have custody of this child."
And then the
Why?
judge does
Yeah.
the one smart thing she does.
the one
The
thing.
only
The only smart
she
thing, and
does.
she says, like, nope. Like, you're not getting custody. And in fact,
you perpetrated a fraud.
yeah,
You-
identity theft.
Yeah, kidnapping. You're going to jail.
Yeah.
And this was the first and only time in this movie
That something smart was said.
that something smart
and
was
then
said.
Because
immediately was taken away.
They
And so it's
immediately
like,
snatched
this
it
judge-
from the jaws of credibility.
I'm like
Gone.
watching, I'm like, oh, the judge is smart
Yeah.
for a second. And she's like, no, in fact, the bailiff's about to take you away and you're under arrest. And I'm like, correct.
But wait.
And then it's like, Jon
There's
Stewart's
more.
like, hold
I'm
on.
the father.
I'm the father and I'm not pressing charges. And they're like, what? And then Jon Stewart's like, yeah, I thought that he was from Buffalo, but really,
actually
but it
from
was
Toronto.
Toronto.
When Julian said he's from Toronto.
Fucking Hooters again.
and then he's like, I met a girl in Toronto, so therefore he must be my son. First of all, could just not be your son because there's other men in Toronto who could have been his dad. But also, and then he's like,
What is their obsession with Hooters? Is what
I
I couldn't
like
figure
that.
out.
I like
Do
that.
we
But
meet
wait.
everyone at Hooters?
no, but I
Yes,
do
I
want
mean,
to
I think
talk.
that's the-
I'm going to talk about that in a second. But
She's like, "Oh, I'm getting
I'm
there."
going to get to Hooters. But at this moment, it's like, okay, we don't even know that you're the dad. We have not established
Nope.
that like anything like a paternity test or anything.
Nah.
The judge basically says, "Oh, that's you? That's who's on this piece of paper? Here you go, pending a blood test. Take this child home."
Right.
But not only that,
Custody granted.
but that part, like granting custody based on the fact that the guy just proclaims, I've been to Toronto, therefore I'm the father.
Right.
That's ridiculous. But then also for him to just be like, oh, I won't be pressing charges. Okay, good for you, but the state should be. Like,
Absolutely.
so this guy should be
The
arrested.
state was the one
he committed
pressing
all
charges,
of
not
these
him.
crimes, regardless of whether or
Absolutely.
not you're okay with it.
Yep,
Like,
that was a
That
farce.
was so frustrating.
Just that part.
No, I mean, all
And then the part where prosecutor, I mean, I guess pending a blood test, whatever.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
ugh.
Excuse me, sir, what?
Ew, I know.
Does anyone
Good luck in your
care?
career.
Does anyone care about this child? I want to know.
No
Other than Sonny, apparently.
Oh my lord.
No one cares. Everyone's terrible.
And so now we fast forward a year later, a little bit plus later, and Sonny has finally taken the bar exam.
And he's working. He's got a lot of work to do.
Wow.
He can't
lawyer.
be. And they're showing like, oh, look at the growth. Like now he's not like out partying. He's like, what are we doing here? I have so much work to do. I have like all this.
He's such an adult now.
And then like he's already got a kid. Like he and Joy Lauren Adams
Yeah,
have
already.
a baby.
Yes.
It was a year and 3 months later. So I guess presumably
Oh, and they're married.
they're married. And
Yeah.
also like, okay, so 9 months to bake a baby. This baby's what, like 2 months old? based
Maybe
on-
at best.
yeah.
Maybe a month. I mean, it was a
No,
small
they moved.
baby.
They moved fast.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was like very fast.
Well, you know, they bonded over sticks. I mean, who
true.
doesn't bond
I
over?
guess.
I mean, that's the making of
I
a beautiful
guess.
relationship.
And then like Julian, it like refers to, Jon Stewart as dad.
Yeah.
And
his-
Leslie Mann as
As mom.
By the way, didn't even touch on Leslie Mann in this movie.
I love her.
Love Leslie Mann. You know Leslie Mann.
Oh, I know Leslie Mann.
amazing.
Of course I do. She's
She's
hilarious.
She's wonderful. I love her. And I
She's
love her in this
hilarious.
movie. She's great in this movie. And he calls her mommy.
Yes.
He's like, what are they talking about, mommy? Because they
Yeah.
made another joke about Hooters.
It's like, no, Sonny's stupid.
Yeah. She's like, nothing, whatever. And, and then they see Vanessa is working there.
With her old man.
And now she's a Hooters girl, and her old man is flipping burgers back there, whatever. He's working the grill. And so the 5-year plan was, and Sonny's like, I guess it's more of a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
But here's one thing I wanted to point out. The entire movie, they're making fun of Leslie Mann's character because
Right.
she used to work at Hooters while she was in med school,
Yeah,
putting herself
right.
through med school.
Right.
She's a doctor now.
Right, like, come on.
Yeah, it's like, that's sexual harassment.
Oh,
Like,
God, yeah.
They are sexually harassing her throughout
Oh,
this
my
movie.
God. Seriously.
Like, no one is pointing that out at all. I don't know.
No, at one point, Jon Stewart is like, no, she's my future wife. You got to cut out the Hooter jokes. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah,
and
right?
that's like the extent of
But it's not like, hey, this is sexual harassment, and you're
No.
relentlessly harassing
There
this
was
woman.
no
It was
such
the
thing as
90s.
1999. No, there was no such thing in 1999.
Yeah, I guess sexual harassment did not exist in 1999, so that's true.
A parting question, or maybe one of several parting questions. If Jon Stewart was not Sonny's best friend,
Yeah.
would Sonny have been able to get some type of visitation rights, or would visitation be stripped?
I don't think there would have been visitation
That's
rights.
really
I don't think so
interesting.
either.
I don't think so at
No,
all.
probably not.
No, I don't think so either.
Although
He'd have been arrested.
It's interesting though. He would have been, and that would probably nullify it. But on its own and on its face, given the bond that he established with that kid, even
Yeah.
though he established it fraudulently,
Yeah.
if we're able to take that out of the equation, he
Yeah.
could make a psychological parent argument, at least in New Jersey,
Well-
because that child did become bonded to him.
I agree.
They were together for 6 weeks.
yeah,
It was only 6 weeks.
I know.
Right.
And it just
So-
depends on
Is that
how.
really enough?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think it really just
I don't think
depends.
so.
It depends on how strong the bond was.
No,
and if it's going to be
6 weeks?
harmful to the kid.
I don't know,
I don't
6
think
weeks?
6 weeks with a 5-year-old. I don't think so.
In that case, like any foster parent could like make claims
Yeah.
to have visitation of that kid
Yeah.
long after he's adopted.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. I don't think he gets any visitation rights. In fact, I think there's probably some sort of restraining order that's entered that says you can't come
If they
near this
weren't
child.
besties, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he gets arrested. I think he gets charged with all of those things. I think he does time, and I think when he gets out, not only can he not be near Julian, I think he probably can't be
Within
Near
2
other
children.
kids.
Yeah. School.
Yeah.
I want to also point out that there's some sort of legality issue with them throwing the cans down on the ground at the supermarket to dent them.
Oh, and
it's
denting them
then
for a
they're
discount?
50% off.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not really sure.
There
I
was
guess-
also a
I don't know
throw-
what I'd be charging them with, but something.
There was also the throwaway line at the end when the social worker came in and Rob Schneider's character said something about how he had questionable legal status.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And it was like,
The idea is that he's
Okay.
Yeah.
illegal, right?
But,
he always- he
but he's
always
still
plays that
called
character.
he's still
Undocumented.
called the undocumented immigrant to be a witness at his
Yeah.
trial. Like,
Right. How are you testifying at a trial if you're undocumented and presumably
Flying
evading
under the radar?
the authorities?
I
this
gotta tell
is-
you right now, in 2025, you would not be.
No.
You would not
But I
be.
don't think in 1999 you would be.
No,
I don't
1999,
know.
they,
If he's
they
nervous,
were willing to
if
look
he's
the
like,
other
hey,
way.
I'd love to help, but I'm, you
Well,
know.
but this is how dedicated he was to his friend. Rob Schneider was a good friend.
He was a great friend. I liked him a lot.
Listen, Rob Schneider and Adam Sandler are definitely good friends, depending on just with how often
He
they're in
plays-
each other's
Oh,
of
movies.
course.
I
Well,
mean,
plays
this whole
these weird
group
characters,
is always
yes.
like
Yeah.
these guys are always in the same movies together. I love that.
He plays these weird characters in Adam
I love
Sandler's
Rob
movies all the
Schneider.
time.
I love it, and I love him in this role. And I have to just note that my favorite line from like almost any movie is hip hop anonymous. Like
Yeah.
I love
it's
that.
not fair. He got
the easy
words.
ones. Yeah, like I have quoted that. My dad still quotes that. Like that has always cracked me up. And you know what? That part did age well. I still laughed when I saw it this week.
So, what was your parenting takeaway from this movie? Did you learn any parenting tips from this, Jenny? I'm just curious.
I mean, don't kidnap children,
I mean, that's not really what I was going for.
but change their pajamas if they pee themselves.
Yeah.
Is that sort of what?
I'm
is
gonna
that,
stop putting
No.
newspaper down on their beds.
I was thinking something more
an
along the
important lesson.
lines of maybe let them, like
Express themselves?
Let them express themselves in what they wear.
I'm gonna let my kids call
Nah.
themselves Frankenstein
Nah,
from
man,
now on.
I didn't get that.
Frankenstein.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you gotta live with this for the rest of your life. So what do you want
I
to be
gave them
called?
boring names. Why
Yeah.
are they not Frankenstein?
Actually, I have to say,
didn't get
one
that
of
from
the
this
most
movie.
heartwarming moments I thought was when he dressed up like Scuba Steve's
Oh,
dad.
that was so nice. eyes.
That was so sweet.
That was very
That
sweet.
was the moment where I was like, now that's a good dad moment.
Hold on.
I have
That's
to
what they
say.
should have used as an exhibit.
Right.
As
Right.
opposed to Steve Buscemi and his griddle McMuffin or whatever it was
And
called.
also, Rob Schneider, he was there when Scuba Steve's dad shows up. So
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
he should have been testifying about.
Yeah.
That he witnessed this whole exchange.
It
and-
was
And-
so cute. But first of all, where the hell did he get that outfit in a matter of
Oh,
5
in a
minutes?
second.
In like
second.
5
I
minutes,
said
he's
that.
dressed as
I was like,
Scuba Steve's
did he
dad.
have that?
Well, you know what? When you're playing the stock market and you've got a lot of money at your discretion, and you can just find a Scuba Steve outfit.
Sure. That
Look,
was
guys,
great.
how many Scuba Steves are we given?
Wow.
0?
can
One,
we
because of
do-
that
Maybe
one
one-
line.
one moment,
the one
shining moment the
that was
judge had.
taken away
Yeah,
from
you're
us
right.
immediately. So I
One-
give it one Scuba Steve.
One
One
Scuba.
Scuba Steve
Yeah.
flipper.
That's it.
Flipper.
One flipper.
One flipper, not even the full Scuba Steve.
Just
Guys,
the flipper.
this
We
was a
ruined it.
great movie.
Yep.
I loved it very much. It has its moments.
That's its moment.
Adam Sandler, thank you for continually being entertaining.
We'll have
Yeah.
to do more of his movies.
Oh, there's so many issues with so many of his
There's
movies.
There's a lot. But thanks
I
for
mean,
joining us on this one. And
Doesn't someone get beat with a golf club by Bob Barker?
I mean,
We should also do Billy Madison. There's a lot of legal issues there.
You know what, Adam Sandler, tell us which movie you'd like us
Come
to
on
do
our
next.
podcast.
please do. I mean, you've been hanging out in Jersey left and right this
We're right here in
entire
Jersey.
year. I mean,
Yeah.
Montclair and like everywhere.
Just
We're
come
right here.
visit.
Come
We're
visit.
right here. We're right here. Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in. Follow us on Instagram, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts,
YouTube?
YouTube.
You know, we show up on my feed all the time.
Oh, really?
I'm constantly watching us, and I find us very entertaining.
You
I'm
must be the
entertained.
one who's giving us all of the
I am. I like it
views.
all the time. So
I love it. The Let's
Send
Ruin It
us
podcast.
the Let's
Find
Ruin It-
us.
share it with your friends.
Yes. Follow, like, and subscribe. And we will see you guys next time with a movie that also has another Steve Buscemi character.
Oh, what could it be?
What could it be?
Peace out.
Bye, guys.